So let's make sure that we leave that, and let's convert it to an editable poly again. Go to polygon mode and then delete those out. Okay. So now we have our belt, our fur created. Now in our next lesson we're going to begin creating the ornate portion of the belt, so the skull on there. So I'll see you then. In this lesson we're going to build the skull onto our belt. Okay, so we wanted to create a lesson that would kind of show you how we could create details like an ornate object like on a belt or something like that without making the polygon count suffer. So I thought that it would be really great to kind of show you how we could create something like this on our belt. And if we want to take a look at a reference image, we've got a skull, and we could really get away with a lot of the shape of this skull itself. We don't necessarily need to create the eyes or even the nose socket here. We could just create the general silhouette of the skull and get away with that, and then we could fake it out with textures. Now the one thing that we can't get around are the horns themselves. We're going to have to actually build this geometry in. So we're going to come in here, we're just going to kind of create just a really small silhouette of the skull, and then we're going to create some horns to kind of stick up off of this belt. And it'll really add to the silhouette of our character and make it look really interesting. So to start out, let's go ahead and hide the body here. So let's select it and right click and hide selection. And we're also going to hide the fur objects on our belt. And let's just grab that belt and hit Alt and X, and let's go to our front view, hitting F on the keyboard. And let's go ahead and start to prepare the polygons for this skull. So if it helps, you can hit Alt and X just to kind of see which vertices you're actually selecting. And I'm going to kind of line these up right above the skull here. So let's grab these next two here. And again, if you need to hit Alt X, you can do so, just to see what you're selecting. And let's pull that down there. Now I'm going to come in here, I'm going to grab these vertices here, and I'm actually going to grab my scale tool.